We are back, my friends. Today, black belt tips. So you got a purple belt, you got a blue belt. What's next? What's your job? See you in a minute. All right, my friends, we are back. Thank you for watching Black Belt Tips. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes and or Google. We'd love to have that. My name is Bill Jones, as always, head instructor of top-level martial arts in downtown Cuyahoga Falls. It is another beautiful day. My friends, we have another special guest with us, but before we get to him, let me introduce my co-host, my friend, my pal, slightly above novice in all things, Mr. Edward Whitney.
Super thrilled to be here, like always.
Expert in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Whoa.
Master.
Whoa.
No? What are you now?
Slightly above novice.
Okay.
Yeah, got a long way to go.
Blue belt.
Yeah, blue belt.
Still.
Forever.
That takes forever. All right, and then also with me today, special guest and instructor at Top Level Martial Arts, brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, triangle maestre, if that's how that's pronounced.
I don't think so, but I don't really know what the word you're looking for is, so we're going to go with it.
Yeah, triangle master. You're the triangle
yes,
master.
he is.
Okay, so this is
I
Mr.
like triangles.
Nathan August.
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good, man. It's good to have you.
Fantastic.
All right. So little background on this. Nathan walked in the door right before we were getting ready to do the podcast. I said, welcome, you're a guest now. So
Yeah.
he's not really overly prepared for this podcast.
I have no idea what's going on.
Okay, great. It's wonderful.
I'm excited, though.
Yeah.
All right, you
Just
excited?
show up and talk. That's it.
So Nate, tell us a little
That's
bit
what we
about
do.
yourself. How long have you been doing jiu-jitsu?
Doing jiu-jitsu, round trip altogether since 2006. I started training under Pedro Sauer black belt now, Adam Wilson, when he started training with you way back when. I think he was a blue belt when I started doing that. He also gave me my karate black belt. So we would train karate for a little while, and then we just slowly just went into jiu-jitsu all the time, every time we hung out.
Started training what works.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
That's not a slight against karate.
Some
Maybe it
reality-based
is.
self-defense things there, but
All right, well, that's awesome.
it was a
man.
good time.
Well, welcome to the podcast. We're glad to have you. So today we were going to talk about, and of course we always kind of talk about a lot of things. I think Ed has some UFC stuff he wants to talk about, and because there's some stuff coming up there, right?
Some big stuff this weekend.
Really?
Oh,
I also hear that the McGregor fight is off. So not-
Mayweather?
Yeah.
I think they're just in negotiation.
And then, what do they need to negotiate? You know, we'll talk about it in a minute.
And-
All right, and then the main thing we wanted to talk about, though, is our topic of the day is you're a colored belt. You're a purple belt, you're a blue belt, a brown belt. So this really, you guys can give a lot of input. What's your job now? What is your job? I think a lot of people, they get to those ranks, and because they take so long to go from one rank to the next, people get lost in the sauce, so to speak, right? It's like, okay, you're trying to get better and all that, but then like you can lose your identity, I think, in these ranks if you're not very careful about how you train. I want to hear from you guys. What do you feel your job is as a colored belt? And then I have a little input on it as well. So, who wants to kick this off?
Let's start with Nate.
All right, Nate. So you're a brown belt. Nate's been a colored belt for a long time now. What do you feel like when you see let's start with new blue belt. You see a new blue belt. What do you feel that guy's job is, or girl, that person's job is?
That person's job as a new person that way, as a new color rank, would be, to one, especially at blue, figure out what you want to do. Figure out how you like doing things. Figure out what moves are yours and kind of help explore it that way. And then aside from that, you'll realize as newer people come in, you're like, wow, I'm actually way better than I thought. Because when the new person comes in just off the street, they do that weird little wiggly thing and they don't know anything. And you're like, oh wow, this does work. This all does work. That's fantastic. Not going against, a purple or a brown belt that's like, I can't do anything ever. So there's always that different level. You see it and you're like, okay, now let me help you. I just spent the last 5 minutes tapping you left and right because you're new and I'm not. And now I want to show you stuff. These are the things that I'm really good at. This might work for you. It might not. But now it gives you options. And then other thing, I think you made a blog on it once. of the different things for like what each rank should be doing. So with blue, I'm learning all the new techniques and things, trying to find out what it is. Are we still going with blue, or can we move on?
Whatever, man. It's all up to
alright,
you.
Cool. We just talk.
And then
Yeah,
as the
chit
purple
chat.
as the
Talk.
purple happens, you know, you've figured out what's good for you. Now it's time you're honing that stuff, and you kind of make your own little like group of people that you enjoy training with more. They either push you much harder than everybody else that you train with, or you just find that these people are the ones that they understand where your experimentation goes. And you're like, all right, cool, this is awesome actually, because I'm going to play with this guy. I know this dude likes leg locks a whole lot. I play around with that guy. I learn all my leg lock stuff. This guy's really good at chokes. This guy's awesome at triangles, guard passing, things like that. And then you find that, oh, there's another new person. Let me help you even more.
So then, what I'm hearing then is your job is to kind of discover your jiu-jitsu, what you like, and then also to kind of take new people under your wing and maybe show them a thing or two?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Because, white to blue, you're learning how to learn jiu-jitsu. After you've figured out how to learn jiu-jitsu, now you have to figure out how to learn the moves that you like for your jiu-jitsu. Yes, it's all Gracie Jiu-Jitsu and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, those fun things, but
Yeah, we had that conversation last. It's all grappling.
I know.
It's all the same.
I know. I'm a big choke dude. I like choking people. I go for chokes more than anything else. I attempt to choke. Now a sweep happened. Awesome. I attempt to choke. Oh, here's an arm lock. Okay. No, it's things like that. And that was just over time realizing that I really just like choking people.
That's awesome. Ed, so how do you feel about this? You're a blue belt yourself.
Yes.
And Ed's a high-level blue belt now. You're 3 stripes on there. And,
Oh yeah.
Been a blue belt for a while, and Ed trains a lot, not only because he's, in the academy a lot, but also just very dedicated. So, like, when you, as a blue belt on the mat, what do you feel like your job is?
My situation
As I fix the tablecloth.
is a little unique, being an instructor and an employee. So I tend to put helping others first. Like I similar equation to what Nate was saying, just I kind of reverse the order. I generally try to help the people, and then after I help them a little bit, then I strangle them. I kind of, and also it benefits me. I'll teach them the defenses to what I'm about to try to do. So they at least have the answers.
Okay.
Yes, it's basically what he said, just swap the order.
All right. So Nate put down some good ground rules, right? Some basic things there. I think the issue is that mine.
It is.
Holy cow! I swear
Oh
I turned it
man, Mr. Everybody's phone off.
off. I can take care of it myself, Ed.
I know you can.
Oh, okay.
I don't trust you. You had the opportunity before the
Yep.
podcast.
You asked, we applied, and you just said no.
And as always, that will not be edited out. That's
Nope.
going to be part of the permanent record.
Yes.
So yeah, my phone went off. If anybody's wondering, you probably couldn't hear it. We could hear it just fine. So I think it's difficult sometimes because jiu-jitsu, and I'd say martial arts in general, is a weird animal, right? It's a weird beast because we have this thing, like we pay for a service, right? Like people come into here and they pay to learn jiu-jitsu and they pay to do these things. And so in the end, technically, the only thing that someone who comes in as a paying customer has to do is show up and train, right?
Mm-hmm.
Show up and learn. But I think martial arts, more than most anything else you end up doing, there's this feeling that you need to give back. And almost, I don't want to say a true expectation, but there is almost an expectation of it. Like, and it's not like I would expect any person who is a non-paid employee to come in and like teach classes for me or anything like that. I don't expect that. Now, some of them have to help out or whatever in whatever situation. It's very rare, but they have, and that's awesome of them. But if they said no, it's also not a problem. Like,
Yep.
I get it. You got lives, right? So I guess that I feel like their job is very different because it's different in this regard. I work very hard, and Nate, who's been with me a long time, and Ed in the last couple of years has worked very hard to create a certain culture in your academy. And your instructor, whoever's watching this, your instructor is working very hard to create a certain culture. That might be an MMA, UFC style culture where it's all about the fight. It might be a sport culture where it's all about the win and moving fast and doing things for time. In my case, it's a culture more of a great level of inclusion. Anybody, any shape, any size can train jiu-jitsu. I firmly believe that and get good at it. And it's about that welcoming environment, right? And so, like, for me, the job of not just the employees who work for you, but also the upper ranks, your blues, your purples, your browns, is to become a multiplier of that culture.
Oh, yeah. It's just for the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, and once they do that and they buy into it, and they really get in there and they do that, you can always tell the ones who are doing it really well because they're usually the last person on the mat. They're there the whole time. They're helping everybody out. They're winning. They're losing, all on purpose. Like last night, someone came to me and they were like, "Man, I don't know if that guy was giving it to me or something, but it was really cool that I got to use some of the moves I've learned in class recently on him and all this." And I look over, and we're talking about a white belt who came up to me and said this, and I look over and he's rolling one of our purple belts, and I was like, "That was awesome!" Like there's no doubt in my mind that he gave him every single thing he got. Especially, I know who he was. The guy is very skilled. So, but I'm not gonna break anybody's heart. I'm like, that's awesome. I'm glad you're feeling like it's coming together. And it's probably a combination of both, right? If I'm a purple belt on a white belt's back, and I feel the white belt doing the right thing, certainly I could counter it and beat them. But why? What are you gaining out of that?
A whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, nothing, right?
I've done it so many times. This is the same. It's the same.
I mean. So from your perspective, Ed, what's more exciting when you tap another 2, 3, 4 stripe blue belt, or when you tap a white belt?
Oh, it's blue belt for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, like, and again, going back to like the tap isn't the most important thing. We all get that, but let's be honest, we all want it.
Oh, it's always a good time.
Everybody wants to win and feel like you won. Really. Same thing, Nate. I mean, do you get excited when you tap a blue belt, or do you get excited when you tap another brown belt? Or
purple, browns, and anything I can do to not get tapped by a black belt is usually where I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
everything below that,
so
I'm like, I'm gonna feed you things.
It's so easy to beat a white belt, and we've discussed this before, right?
Yeah.
I think we called it like it's akin to, playing with a child. They just don't know. They don't understand it. They don't.
Hand on the forehead, they swing.
Yeah, and then you let go and they fall down. And in some cases, like it is literally that same exact thing with a slightly different position. Like,
yeah.
They think they're fighting so hard, and then you make one little movement, and they just fall over.
And you're on their back.
Yeah, and it's like, man, and it's like exactly like that.
Oh yeah.
Full-grown adults. So I don't know. For me, that's one of the things I look for when I promote blue belts is what kind of person is this? Is this a person who's going to be good at multiplying the culture? Are they getting it?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one of the things that I look at. I say this is someone I would want to represent me. Maybe their jiu-jitsu is not even. And of course, I mean, any blue belt's got decent jiu-jitsu, but I mean, I'm not looking at their jiu-jitsu only, I guess is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking at, okay, they can beat this person or that person. That's actually one of the last things I look at. I look at, okay, they're technical, they're a good human being, they fit the culture, and I feel like that comes into play there.
Most definitely does.
What do you think about that?
I don't necessarily have specific thoughts, but I see the results.
Yeah.
So you've been applying this philosophy for a while, correct?
Yeah.
And you feel it around here. You feel it in every individual. They're all quality human beings. That's honestly my favorite part. That's what made me stick here. We've talked about some of the hurdles and hiccups I've encountered along the way.
Mr. Glass.
Yes.
I'd say I'm Mr. Porcelain now. Slightly more sturdy. Slightly.
That much.
For those of you who are listening via podcast, Nate is holding
about a half
two
inch.
fingers in close proximity.
Almost touching.
Just a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger than glass, but not much.
Yep.
Maybe it's like tempered glass this time.
But I mean, like, obviously, my specific discussion is my views on it for here.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I think that's true no matter where you are. So, like, if you're when I was I came up in an MMA school, very much an MMA school. And, the culture I've created here is very different from the culture they have there. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's not welcoming, but it's different. Like, at that school, you are fighting. Period.
Yeah.
Like, you know how to fight. There is not a day that goes by where there's not people in there with gloves and a mouthpiece, and they're hitting and they're doing that kind of stuff. Here, you can get away without doing that part of it most of the time.
Unless you come in on Saturday and then it's
Yeah, unless you come into a specific class for that. So the culture there was always a mindset of, okay, there's a fight going on. Here's how you use jiu-jitsu. And it created a different culture. A very different type of person came in, a very different, and I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying it's what it was, But that's, when someone came in and you were working with a white belt, it was like, okay, look, I'm going to hit you in the face right now if you don't do this move from here, as opposed to, look, I'm going to try to wrap this collar around your neck if you don't do this move from here, as opposed to, you know what I mean? So I think that makes a difference too, in the type of person you bring in and their kind of train of thought, and their survival mentality you put them in. That's why I want people who can be relaxed. I want them to be comfortable. Mm-hmm. So
I think that's also sometimes a big thing for the upper ranks then too, is occasionally you have to weed those people out.
Yeah.
The people that do, excuse me, the people that don't fit that culture, unfortunately you either weed them out and then they change and kind of flip the script, if you will, and they become part of the culture because they're like, oh wow, there's a lot of people in here that can just literally beat me down without even trying, or they realize that their ego's too big, they didn't leave it at the door, and when you've got a very warm and welcoming culture to begin with, that person that was just in there to and constantly kill, well, that person will eventually get weeded out, and like I said, they'll kind of change.
They'll probably
and
quit.
Come into
Jump cut coming. Excuse me.
Okay. Oh.
I'm trying to hold it together through Nate's thing.
Hey, we lost
throw up somewhere else.
Don't
Throw up outside,
throw up in
dickhead.
that
I'm not
can.
throwing up.
It sure looks like you're throwing up.
Oh, something got in my throat, and I was trying to. You see my eyes watering? I'm sorry, guys. Jump cut coming.
Is it still? Yeah. Okay.
That entire time you were talking, I was sitting here, my eyes are watering, and I'm trying to hold it
Well,
together.
welcome back.
I'm back.
Let's bring
Sorry,
more
guys.
to this. Let's bring more to this. What else we got to say about it? Are you going to survive now?
Yes.
Sure. Do you need to
Apologize.
talk a little bit to get some of that out of there?
I don't know.
All right. So
How do you
I
feel
can-
about the gatekeepers?
Hold on. I need to know when we're actually starting again.
Just give me 1 second. Make sure I'm good. I have not been able to shake this cough for like weeks now. All right. Sorry about that, gentlemen.
Good.
Good.
All right. So yeah, I get what you're saying, Nate. I think that I get it, and I've seen that happen. I'm not a huge fan of that, of like the upper belts acting as gatekeepers per se. I think it's gonna happen, and the main reason is like I feel like it's on the instructor to protect to that level, like because especially like if you've got an instructor and like that's what they're doing for their livelihood,
Mhm.
I don't think it's really on the members to like want to get somebody out. But I think it's fine to take someone aside and say, hey man, listen, you're just rolling too hard. You need to slow it down. And then like if they're just not listening, tell make sure the instructor knows, hey dude, this guy's just not getting it. Like he's hurting the culture. But it's true. Like one bad egg can spoil the bunch, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like is that how that goes?
Unfortunately.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's probably completely wrong. I probably used a horrible analogy right there, but you get the idea. So what do you got on that, Ed?
I'm kind of in disagreement with you. I think sometimes the higher ranked students do have to take that responsibility because you're not always here. Nate's not always here, and sometimes it's happening right in front of you. I actually witnessed an incident, and mind you, the kid didn't do anything outrageous, but he just went out and rolled the guy up a little bit, trying to get him to settle down because he was. You guys know how new guys are sometimes.
Spazzy.
Yeah, just real spazzy, and he elbowed the guy in the face. I mean, these were accidents.
Mhm.
Kneed him in the face. He had a scratch on his face afterwards, and it just... It was kind of a situation that I felt like needed immediate attention. And like I said, he didn't do anything inappropriate. Just went out and kind of kicked his butt for 5 or 10 minutes, and Then he sat there and talked to him for about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, let's be honest. We're not doing ballet.
No,
Like, it's
no, it's a fighting art.
Yeah.
You're gonna get hit on accident
Yeah,
or
yeah.
on purpose.
You know, I mean, how many times have you guys been kneed in the face just accidentally?
I've lost count.
Yeah.
There or getting hit in the junk. Yeah,
Yeah.
it just happens.
So,
Things get in the way. All of a sudden, an elbow moves
elbows,
too fast.
yeah, whatever.
Knee comes up.
Or you walk into it. Like
Oh,
you're
yeah.
coming up to get a position, and you know they're out of position. Their elbows right there. And,
Scramble happens. Or you
Sometimes
slip
you-
on sweat.
Yeah.
The sweat slip's always a fun one too.
That's
I get a
just-
lot of headbutts. I get
Yeah.
headbutted
Yeah.
all the time, yeah. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Probably just staring at the ground.
No, I mean their head's hitting me.
Oh.
Like, I got hit in the thigh, I got hit, you know what I mean? Just their heads just constantly.
Their head's hitting your thigh.
Yeah.
Why? They hit in your thigh.
What are they doing?
That was actually a sprawl.
Oh, okay.
They were going for a takedown, and I kind of started to sprawl, and it was miserable.
Okay,
It was not a comfortable experience. Charlie Horse.
Mr. Glass.
Try that. Headbutt in the
Mr.
thigh.
Glass. Charlie Horse.
Didn't
put you out.
stop rolling. I finished the match. Rolled the
Couldn't
rest
roll
of the
after a
night.
Charlie Horse.
Came to work the next day. I don't.
Had to call off.
No.
Cried a little on the inside and a little bit more on the outside later when he wasn't around anybody.
Oh, well, that part may be factual. All that other stuff Bill was saying is not true.
Call Bill. I can't make it in. I got a Charlie Horse yesterday. No, didn't happen like that.
No, the tears maybe. You know, I just wept silently on the drive home.
So what's going on in news? What's going on? What do we got with UFC?
Oh, UFC 211.
211.
Yeah,
It's like 3 digits.
yeah, it's turned into kind of a big deal these days. I don't know
Wow.
if you've been watching or not.
So he's fighting.
No.
I'm just messing.
Almost as exciting though.
Okay.
Local heavyweight champ.
yeah.
Oh, is Stipe
Stipe
fighting?
He's coming
Miocic.
back out. Nice.
Sweet. Another title defense against Dos Santos. Am I
Yeah,
right?
Junior
Oh,
Dos
that's
Santos.
2, right?
What's that? Yeah,
Isn't it 2?
I
This
think
is the second
number
time.
3.
This will be the
Is it
third
3?
one, yeah.
Oh wow, I totally missed one of them then.
If I remember correctly. Yeah, I think so. 2 or 3. But the fact is, in the heavyweight division, if you even defend the belt, you've accomplished something.
Oh yeah.
Stipe's. I mean, he keeps this up. He could be on his way to Hall of Fame, huh?
Yeah,
Dude,
he's
that'd be awesome.
legit, man. Especially since
Well, no shit. He's the heavyweight champion. I didn't doubt that he was legit.
there's a difference. Trust me. There's guys that have won championships that they just put together a string of 3 or 4 good fights and pulled it off. You know what I mean? Whereas he's a world class athlete, super talented.
Yeah, because he had to go through a bunch of big name dudes to get there to
He's
begin
beat
with.
everybody.
Well, because he was, you know, like, I mean, let's be honest. Some of these guys kind of get to the title fights faster because they're really like flamboyant and exciting and
Yeah.
all that. And Stipe never took that route.
Yeah, he's
You
a
know,
firefighter.
He decided to be like your average dude, and when you're the average dude, you know, it's not as exciting until you actually get to be the champion, and then people are like, "Yeah, average guy's the champion." You
Yeah.
know, then
It's like a
everybody wants
Rocky
to be behind
Balboa
it.
thing
Yeah,
going
it
on.
kinda
Yeah,
is.
but nobody thinks it's going to happen or gives it any credit. In my opinion, including Dana White, probably still, you know, like he's probably still like, "Yep, this is the one that Stipe is going to lose." This is the
Yeah.
one, you know, like
He probably says that every time too.
Stipe just keeps coming in, ding, ding, ding.
See, there's
ding,
something
ding.
that I don't think people are talking about enough with this. You're kind of seeing a changing of the guard with the champions since USADA took over, and they're really testing heavily for.
Now, who's USADA?
They're
people
the
that
anti-doping agency.
Okay,
Yeah, they're. I think
the
they're
new
more-
USDA era of the UFC.
Yes.
except not dealing with.
Yeah, so you're kind of seeing guys rise to the top that were just average fighters,
Mhm.
and most likely they were the ones that weren't doing steroids.
Mhm.
And I think that's the case with Stipe. If you look around the heavyweight division, some of those guys built like action figures. Do you guys remember like Alistair Overeem a few years ago?
Oh, dude,
Or maybe,
Reem.
Brock Lesnar, or
Yes.
I mean, I realize he was super heavy, right?
No,
he
he was-
heavy?
yeah,
he cut down
he
to
cut down to
heavyweight, but he had to
265.
cut down to 265. He
Yeah.
was a huge dude.
Yeah, these are not.
Tiny
I hate
little-
to throw out allegations, but I'm going to say these guys are not natural.
Okay.
Whereas guys like Stipe most likely were. If you look at his build, he's
Yeah.
just built like a big, strong dude, you know?
Mhm.
So what are your predictions? Who do you guys think's going to get? We're just going with your heart.
I want to see Stipe win.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, yeah. It's hometown. It's close enough. No.
He's like an
It's
hour
okay.
away, man. I want
Yeah.
him to win.
I'm with you. The reality of it is, though, in the heavyweight division, anybody can win.
Oh,
it
Well,
only
come
takes
on.
one.
That's a cop-out thing to say. I So you're the expert in this. In my opinion, you're the expert.
Okay.
You know what pros does Junior Dos Santos bring to the table? What pros does Stipe bring, and what are the cons? What do you think? If Stipe wins, how does it happen? If Junior Dos Santos wins, how does it happen? You're not allowed to say lucky punch.
Man.
Yeah.
Junior Dos Santos is a better boxer,
Okay.
technical boxer.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Stipe throws real straight, hard punches that in MMA, it's like I said, it takes one in the heavyweight division.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't give you a certain pick, but I would say 85% Stipe, 15% Dos Santos.
By
wins.
Go Plata?
No,
Oh.
by knockout.
Will it go to the ground at all?
He passes out from a Go Plata?
I don't think so, honestly. I mean, there might be a short amount of time, but Stipe is a really underrated wrestler. People do not give his wrestling anywhere near the credit.
Yeah, he's a tough human being.
Yeah, and Dos Santos is a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, but again, he's primarily a boxer, in my opinion. So I look for it to be a 1 or 2 round fight. Just somebody
stand-up.
gets iced. Yep.
Who do you think's getting iced?
I think Dos Santos is going down.
You think so? All right.
But to quote Brennan Schaub, I'm going with my heart on this one, so do not place bets on that prediction. And there's another fight, though, that everybody should be a little interested in.
Okay.
Mr. Damian Maia's fighting.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, but he's fighting...
Who's he killing this time?
Well, the kid he's fighting is Jorge Masvidal. Masvidal is how you pronounce it, I believe.
Where's that guy from?
Florida.
Masvidal?
He actually came... You guys remember Kimbo Slice?
No.
Sure.
Yeah.
He actually started in that backyard fighting circuit, if I'm
Oh, wow.
thinking of the correct guy, yes.
Whoa. All right.
But the reality of it is he doesn't have a great ground game, but he's got really good takedown defense,
Mm.
and he's a really pure striker. So this could be exciting. It's not quite UFC 1 where the other guys didn't know anything, but there's definitely an edge.
It could be exciting, or it could be horribly lopsided towards Damian Maia.
Yeah. That's
The most likely scenario is Damian Maia gets a single leg, moves him out, pounds him for a few minutes, he rolls
Takes his
over,
back.
takes his back,
Rear
rear
naked
naked
choke.
choke. But in that process, at any time, Masvidal could land the,
It goes
You
with
are
that lucky
such
punch
a
thing again.
wishy-washy guy here. Well, it could be this. Just make a decision.
No,
What's
I
gonna
watch
happen?
fighting. I know how it works. This is the reality of how this stuff
Remember, they
works.
start standing.
Who's gonna win?
I'm going with Damian Maia,
Yeah,
without a doubt. I'm
Bastard
very biased
jiu-jitsu.
on that one.
by Go Plata.
It's with
No.
him. It's a reality. It
Rear
could possibly happen. No, rear naked choke. Yeah.
Rear naked choke, or knockout. Those are two good things to say. Like I feel like that could win just about every fight.
Yes.
Or
That's-
the not quite rear naked choke, but I'm going to twist your head until your nose just becomes a blood volcano.
That was. Ooh.
Either way, it's
Yeah.
close to a rear naked choke.
It was a rear naked choke that it happened. But yeah, so we've got the UFC. So what's going on here? We got McGregor and Tyson, right?
Whoa.
I don't know what's going on with that. We're kind of in limbo.
So it is Tyson.
So there's some bantering back and forth at this point. Nobody really knows.
All right.
Yeah. I'm hoping it happens. But in reality, if I had to pick, I'd rather see Diaz McGregor 3
Okay.
if it was up to me.
All right.
Just
Well,
be-
do you think that won't happen though, just because of this?
We were talking about before our cut there. We were talking about Tyson Holyfield, right?
Whoa. No.
Wow.
Excuse that real
Did
far
you
now.
stumble out of the 90s? No, we were talking about McGregor Mayweather and
Oh,
the
yeah.
Jean
fight.
jacket from.
Yes, jean jackets. You wear that to the Holyfield
It
fight?
came with me, man.
Ah, yes.
That's great.
We're chewing on some ears again, right?
Yeah, right.
Nice.
No, I think we're just kind of in limbo right now. McGregor did have his baby, which was apparently the big holdup
He
from
had
him
one?
not fighting. Yeah. He's an incredible
Or
dude.
his wife.
No, he did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's an incredible guy, man. It's pretty amazing.
All right, so him and Arnold Schwarzenegger, only 2 males to have a baby. Got it.
That was a movie. Come on, that's fake.
Yeah, come on, we're talking real life, Nate.
Fine.
Bringing weird stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
just made it weird, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So, what else is going on in the world of sports there? Nate, you got anything?
Whoa. Yeah, there's a whole lot of. I got nothing on that. Sports ball.
Okay.
Yay.
Canelo and Chavez happened just recently.
Who?
Canelo and Chavez, the boxing match.
Is that a sport
Nothing.
still?
That is a sport.
Oh,
Boxing.
okay.
Yes.
I didn't know people still did that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they made
It's a little
hundreds
like
of millions
underground
of
now.
dollars, so somebody's apparently watching.
Who is watching these things? I feel like it's just a huge money laundering operation. There's no way that $100 million worth of people are watching boxing these days.
It's Canelo. He's a Mexican superstar, like beyond comprehension.
But I mean, here's my honest opinion. There's some cartel down there that wants to launder their money. So they're like, throw a fight up, put this thing on, we will buy all the pay-per-view just to launder the money.
And all of
There's
13
no
people
way.
that watch it are like, yay!
Yeah, like I mean, I get it. Boxing. There was a day when boxing was
Oh, yeah.
huge, but it has been on a huge decline forever now. How is it still that popular?
The reality of it is, and you guys are gonna jump on me for saying this, boxing is better now than it has ever been. It is in.
That's because all the rounds and stuff are much
You
shorter
mean
than they
better
used to be, aren't
skilled
they?
or a better show, better what?
Yes.
Okay.
All
Yes.
of the above.
Yes.
Oh.
There's huge fighters right now. Like there's guys that are exciting to watch.
Yeah, but I mean, are they uniting the belts again? Are they doing any of that? So,
Yeah.
I mean, because that was their biggest mistake ever, I think, in boxing was, all these divisions eventually had there were 7 world champions. No one could keep track of anything. That's the one thing that the UFC is very smart about is that anything that's come close to even maybe contending with them, they've said, we're just going to go ahead and buy that.
Yeah, Bellator's coming up quick. Though.
And then they do the inner
And I
belt.
bet they
match.
buy Bellator too.
They're owned by some mega entertainment company that actually has more money than UFC.
Yeah.
So they're posturing. I can't think of the name of who it is, but it's like Fox or Universal or something like that.
It's not you.
Viacom.
Oh,
That's who it is.
Viacom. Oh.
Viacom owns Bellator, so
Okay.
UFC's not going to be able to play big money with them. Bellator is actually getting ready to have their first pay-per-view next month.
I was
Okay.
going to say, that one has
Yeah.
seemed to be growing
Yeah,
exponentially.
it's going to be headlined by like Fedor and Matt Mitrione and Chael Sonnen and
Unless
just
didn't a lot of UFC
bunch
guys
of
go to
huge
A
Bellator?
bunch of
guys.
has-beens. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of back in the day when you had WWF and WCW. And WCW is where all the nobodies were, and
But which one was
and
more
all
fun
the,
to watch?
And all the old WWF guys went.
You're talking to a guy-
WWF. That's
Whoa.
who everybody watched.
Psh, wait a minute. In the
WWF
comments,
was way
No.
huge.
comments tell us what's better, WWE or WCW or WWF back in the day. Come on.
It was definitely
Are you
WWF.
kidding?
WWF had a cartoon. I mean, come on, man.
WCW had a guy that sprayed stuff out of his mouth, like green powder.
If I did that to you, you'd probably run and hide.
I would for sure.
Yeah.
I don't want your spit on me.
Put a
I
thumb
don't
in
remember
your mouth.
any of these things.
The
Yeah,
Great
I know.
Muda.
Nobody knows who
No.
you're talking about. Nobody watches
Yeah, no.
WCW. WCW, number one claim to fame, Sting. There's a reason that WWF was able to buy it for like $7.50.
I mean, that did happen.
Oh, man.
All right. So
We're
anyway,
getting
do you have
way
anything
off
else?
Topic. No.
Off topic. I don't see how that's off topic.
No, because we were going sports things. Those are sporty things.
Oh,
No, but it
I
was
lost
just
my
about
original
boxing.
train of thought.
Yeah,
the whole
Bellator.
thing I
How do
started
you lose
to
a
say.
train?
It's I'm not real organized. I'm like Bill.
Yes.
No, the whole point I was making is how high of a level of MMA and fighting we have in this area.
Yeah.
Oh,
It tends to get overlooked when you start looking at some of the past champions and present champions from this area. Because like Stipe's not the only one.
Well,
we got
Ohio
Cody
in
Garbrandt
general.
right down the street the other way.
Yep.
Stipe this way, Cody Garbrandt that way. We had Mark Coleman, Kevin Randleman. These guys.
Rich Ace Franklin was originally
Yeah.
Ohio guy.
Carlos Condit, I believe, or no, Matt Brown.
Matt Brown was Ohio.
Matt
yeah.
Brown. These people just
Sean Salmon.
exactly, precisely.
You know what? Here's the thing.
The-
I've
the
met,
best
no, this,
knockout
I feel
of
bad
Rashad
saying
Evans.
that. I feel bad saying that because Sean Salmon was not that great of an MMA guy, but I have met him and he was a nice human being. He was a genuinely nice guy.
And I'm sure compared to everybody on earth except those.
Yeah, I mean, if I get in the
100
ring with him,
people
he's
in the
probably going to
UFC.
whoop the shit out of me. Let's be honest. But I mean, he was a nice guy. I shouldn't make fun,
Yeah.
especially because I've never been in the ring. So.
Yeah, I was serious when you said Sean Salmon. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Dude fought in the UFC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, to me, that's...
Jason Dent.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's a huge number of guys.
Yeah, Jason Dent's out of Griffin
He's up.
Rolls,
He's
you know?
He's up in the Cleveland area. Yeah.
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 I just don't think people give it enough credit sometimes.
No, they don't.
Ohio has two things. It either has
All right,
astronauts-
guys. So Ed's made the prediction today that Bellator is going to overtake UFC soon. He also says that boxing
10
is
years or
coming
so.
back. Boxing is back, better than ever. You heard it here first.
I did say that.
And anyway, Anything else, guys? Anything
No,
else?
thank you for watching.
So listen, if you are listening to this, please smash that subscribe button if you're on YouTube.
Smash it.
Subscribe to our podcast if you're on iTunes and Google Play. Send us a message. We'd love to hear from you on Twitter at Black Belt Tips. We'd love to hear from you on Facebook, Black Belt Tips. So, feel free to message us. Everybody give Nate some love. Make
Thanks,
sure
Nate.
to put a comment about Nate. And that's all we got for today. You think so? Anything
I
else?
think.
Nate, you got anything else? Any last?
No. It's
All right,
good.
my friends.
Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for
for having
watching. We're out.